Welcome to CTV News Your Canada. It's Wednesday, November 19th. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
Julie Lavictoire, North Bay Police's wellness coordinator, has been busy over the last several months, gauging staff morale.
When I check in with them, they're a lot more quick to respond and kind of let me know, well, I'm not doing so good or I'm doing a lot better today.
Lavictoire presented findings from the peer support team to the police board, including the success of in-house training for 911 operators and dispatchers on managing occupational stress and trauma. She's been meeting with both sworn and civilian members, helping them with any kind of health and wellness challenges they're facing.
Police personnel are kind of notoriously guarded and a little bit less trusting than some of my other previous clients that I was used to. So it's just to kind of build trust with them.
When Chief Daryl Longworth was sworn in, 27 employees were off work for various personal reasons, including to treat work-related physical injuries, mental health, and PTSD battles. Since then, some staff have retired and 4 members have returned.
We're currently speaking with a number of other individuals who are interested in coming back to work, and we're just working with their treatment providers and WSIB and the member to make sure their transition back to work is seamless.
A Canadian study finds, on average, most people experience 8 to 10 traumatic events in their life, compared to 800 to 1,000 traumatic events police experience in their career.
We have an organization that is going to wrap around you and support you.
Recognizing the day-to-day pressures of being a police officer with the variety of calls for help, Longworth stresses the need to keep his team healthy and motivated.
If we keep them feeling like they're valued, like what they do makes a difference, and that people actually care about what they do, they're going to go out and look after the community and take care of the community's needs.
Lavictoire is looking at implementing some new changes regarding health and wellness and plans to bring forward further information to the police board. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
As the cost of groceries remains high, many shoppers are changing buying habits. The Buy Canadian campaign is waning.
You can't completely eliminate all American stuff, right?
Now that Canada has lifted reciprocal tariffs on the U.S., Loblaw CEO says shoppers are searching for the best discounts, no matter the origin. Prices on direct imported products from the U.S. have gone down to normal. And of course, we are seeing some customers who are going back to those products that they love now that they are much cheaper than they were.
I think it's coming down to cost for me. There's a lot of it. Yeah. So I'm probably, I'm paying less attention to it. Yeah. Overall. Yeah. I mean, we gotta like save our dollars, right? It's like the price of stuff is crazy.
It's about cost as well. So when stuff is cheaper, I'll go with the cheaper option.
Experts say the season also plays a role.
Lots of times that patriotism is blended with affordability. So as Canada ends into the off season for growing, and we start to rely more heavily on imports, the ability to choose Canadian isn't always as prevalent as it would be in the growing season.
Well, at this time of year, you have really no choice in terms of fresh vegetable and fruit to buy outside of Canada. And that probably means through the United States.
For others, Buy Canadian still sends a strong message.
Are you boycotting American products 100%?
100%.
Yeah? What if there's something that doesn't exist in the Canadian version?
I don't buy it.
Are you still boycotting the American stuff when you can?
Not necessarily boycotting them on purpose. I don't go out of my way necessarily. But if I can purchase Canadian, I'll do that.
For many, buying Canadian remains a priority, even with higher prices.
What if you have two products side by side and the American one's cheaper?
We buy the Canadian one.
You still pay more?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's our local businesses. It's our folks that are working hard to do things, and I try not to buy American, preferably.
Food import prices are also expected to drop even more in Canada soon due to President Trump's decision to reduce tariffs on basic food staples. Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
Mile filed in front of the legislative building.
to have the party they've been waiting to have with each other. Now, eventually what was going on was, man, it was just crazy to be amongst the group with thousands of people here celebrating that Grey Cup game. And about the only thing that didn't happen was Corey Maess pouring a beer on my head, and got a little nervous in the crowd at one point. I was navigating through it, trying to find my way as I was getting some video and things like that. And then I turned, and Corey was there with his boy on his shoulders with a Pilsner in his hand, and I got a little bit of PTSD from Saturday night. But man, it was pandemonium. It was crazy here. Fans absolutely excited to be able to celebrate their team and finally having them bring the cup home. Here's what head coach Corey Maess and quarterback Trevor Harris, the Grey Cup MVP, had to say to fans in front of the ledge today.
When we first came to Saskatchewan, we knew it was going to be crazy, but this is something else. Much love, let's go! Hey, look, so much goes into this. There's so many thank yous to go around. For Rider Nation, much love. And lastly, and most importantly, how about your Saskatchewan Roughriders?
Thank you guys so much for making this moment special. This is your guys' moment as well. We've always had the best fans in the league, and now we've got the best dang team in the league to match you guys, man. We thank you so much. It's been awesome. This is our 5th title, but something we've never done is go back-to-back. So let's go ahead and start talking about that.
Now, after all the speeches and everything on the ground, the team then made their way up to the balcony. There's a green Rough Rider flag hanging from the legislative building. Above that is a balcony, and there were players with the Grey Cup holding it above their heads over top of the crowd, asking the several players who were up there what that view was like. They said it was the best view that you could have looking over the sea of green. Trevor Harris also up there at one point, just soaking in the moment. And you heard in the clip that we just played, he wants to go back-to-back, but still not confirming if he will be back with the Rough Riders next season. Says he still wants to talk with his family and with the team before he makes a decision. Tomorrow's team end of season availability will happen again tomorrow, and maybe an answer there, Lee.
These gingerbread houses, based on students' favorite movies or books, were hardly a piece of cake.
Almost 105 pieces, not including the royal icing that I did separately.
Doreen Yazzie created a home based on the one in Charles Dickens' The Christmas Carol, wanting to capture the warmth of the holidays.
There were times, I made it, and I was like, oh no, it's not coming together. Okay, another time. So yes, I read like 72 hours, but that's definitely more than that.
Every part of each of these 33 submissions had to be edible, except the lights.
Carrot legs themselves are pretzels that I cut down.
Holly Schlamm's inspiration for Gusteau's from the movie Ratatouille came from her 3 months spent working at a 2-star Michelin restaurant in France.
I worked at the restaurant where Gusteau's was inspired. I worked at Chef Paul Bocuse's restaurant in Lyon, and Gusteau's directly inspired by Chef Paul Bocuse himself.
It includes a peek inside to see the rats hard at work and the seating for the restaurant.
Well done to our 33 students who have carefully got their houses to these tables today.
This competition at George Brown Polytechnic's Chef School has been going on since 2008.
It's as unique as each student, and the level of creativity is phenomenal.
Instructor Sue Fleming says students create them in their spare time at home, and they're not for marks. They're judged on things like cleanliness, complexity, and variety of skill. The winner takes home a $2,000 prize.
It really adds something to the college vibe. It's a wonderful opportunity, and I appreciate them stepping up.
Students don't make these in a snap.
It took me 5 days to put together, but I've been thinking about it for a month maybe.
Juana Guillo created the home from Encanto.
I'm Colombian, and as soon as I watched the movie, it was like a no-brainer. I knew I had to do that one. I love the colors, the flowers. It just represents really well where I'm from.
The winning submission was Quinn Herndon's Grand Budapest Hotel.
The
front is like the main story, what the hotel looks like in the main plot, and then the other side is the version of the hotel, like in the modern day, like when the story's being told.
With each tiny window carefully outlined.
I fell in love with the hotel and the artistry of the people who made this.
Artistry certainly on display here too, proving these students don't crumble under the pressure. Allison Hurst, CTV News.
In his lifetime, Bill Brady followed a path through all areas of the media business. His impact is summed up concisely by longtime CFPL radio morning man Peter Garland.
One word, huge. Everybody knew Bill Brady because he was everywhere.
Brady, a native of Windsor, stopped in a few places before making London his permanent home in the 60s. CKSL Radio was a big part of his career, but he made a name for himself at CFPL. It was there the radio morning host began to moonlight on CFPL TV, now CTV London.
I was asked, would I be interested in doing a game show? They told me I'd make $52 a show. I thought, I wonder what kind of car I'll buy.
Bill connected with audiences in both radio and television. His voice and face became a source of comfort to the community. He was known to stay on the air during snowstorms and to wait to tape TV shows just so studio audiences had time to arrive.
And then they'd come from places like Dutton and Owen Sound, long way away.
Over time, Bill became a community champion. As a broadcaster, he raised funds through Bunny Bundle, a decades-long effort to support the Thames Valley Children's Center. Even after he stepped down from his daily radio show to become a broadcasting executive, Bill kept giving to multiple charity boards and events.
We've raised public awareness about diabetes and how important a cure needs to be found.
CTV's Nick Paparella calls Bill a community trailblazer and mentor.
And when you're out at an event, you see the connection he has with the audience. And you see how he was engaged with that fundraising event and with that organization, and that was Bill.
Longtime London morning personality Steve Garrison grew up wanting to be Bill Brady. Later, he heeded his advice to put London first.
Bill was always available to MC work. He'd be out to 11, 12, midnight, and then he'd be on the radio prepping his show around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Bill received the Order of Canada in 1991 and the Sovereign Medal for Volunteer Service in 2021. But ultimately, he will be remembered as a broadcaster in the golden age of London radio and TV.
Bill was, a giant in that category as far as personality was concerned.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Taking care of donkeys just got a little easier.
It's an education resource for both new donkey stewards as well as experienced donkey owners to use as a guideline to help keep them updated.
We inform and encourage the responsible stewardship of all animals.
The Donkey Sanctuary of Canada has released a new online virtual tool to help inform the community about the best care practices.
As we continue to learn more about how to properly care for them, we want to share it with the community of donkey owners so they can continue to support them as their donkeys age.
Donkeys were originally a desert animal, and life in the north means adjusting to the climate. The first video takes a deep look at donkey care essentials.
Donkey hooves are naturally very porous to absorb moisture from dry desert ground.
It's a great introduction video to learning about donkey housing, how to set up your farm, what kind of vet care they require, as well as farrier and any kind of health resources.
The program is modeled off of the Donkey Sanctuary UK. Each video will have expert advice depending on the content.
We always rely on them for what's the latest welfare practice, and with our own animal care team, what we have seen worked for our lovely Canadian climate as we start to approach winter.
The free resource getting the thumbs up from the Ontario Veterinary College.
It's great for the public to have additional educational resources that are from a good source, especially for animals that maybe the public isn't as familiar with in terms of their care and what their daily needs look like.
The second video is expected to launch next month with a focus on nutrition, and in the new year, more videos to come. Ashley Bacon, CTV News, Puss Lunch.
Preparations for the return of a popular winter attraction are underway.
We expect to be really busy, especially being in downtown in such a central location. We think it's going to be a very busy castle this year.
Ice Castles is a Utah-based company that builds castles in Canada and the States. This year, Edmonton was selected as one of 5 locations.
Edmonton's been a great city to us over the years, and we're just excited to be here.
Richie Veldhuis is part of a team responsible for executing the design of the castle. He's been sculpting in and around Edmonton for 30 years, including helping with the creation of the Bob and Doug McKenzie statue at Ice District. He says the castle is one of his most unique creations.
There's basically a blueprint of the castle that we start with, and then it organically changes as the ice grows.
This year, the castle will have a fairy tale theme.
When I'm working in clay, I'm working alone. This is really a team effort. There's about 25 of us that build the castle, so we're placing ice and making a large sculpture.
If it gets cold enough and soon, the towers on the castle could reach up to 50 feet tall.
We know where every slide is going to go. We know where every tunnel will go. And then as the ice kind of organically does things, we change and we adapt to that.
Organizers expect to have the castle open to the public sometime before Christmas. Merrick Takash, CTV News, Edmonton.
From holiday hampers to winter clothing drives, Halifax charities say wish lists are growing. They're counting on community kindness to help brighten this season for families struggling to get by.
You find that more people are generous at this time of year, and it's the spirit of giving.
But over the last 2 years, Romaine Rodin with Parker Street Food and Furniture Bank says times have been tough for everyone and donations slowing down.
I've seen a steady decline in donations, and that's because many families are now facing the strong economic issues, and they're not as able as before.
They're calling on the public's help to support their annual holiday hamper program. Their goal is to fill 1,000.
It's a nice turkey or whatever protein option that families might need. We have a big Halal or Muslim population here, so we try to have vegetarian options as well. You get a box filled with stuffings for the turkey or for whatever meal you prefer, and also you get some candies, and if you have kids at home, then you get some toys.
The value of a hamper for a small family is $150, while a larger box is $300. They plan to distribute them on the 17th and 18th of December. Meanwhile, over at Brunswick Street Mission, they're seeing a greater need this year as well, hitting a record number on their breakfast program Monday morning.
On a daily basis, we have around 100 people in our breakfast program, and then another 50 people coming through our food bank, plus whoever wants to drop in and spend the day here. So over around maybe 150 to 200 people.
This is the first year the Brunswick Street team has mailed out a wish list looking for help.
The items that we need to top up are our essentials like milk, eggs, cereal, tuna, pasta, rice, oatmeal. And then in terms of clothing, we're always looking for good winter outerwear.
They ask that clothing donations be new or gently worn. People can donate in person or online. Emma Convey, CTV News, Halifax.
New hope is on the way to the Circle of Life Thunderbird house.
Everybody in the office was pretty ecstatic. Yeah, over a third of our employee workforce is Indigenous.
Director Peter Parkman's company Arrow will take on the repair of this building's copper roof. What started as a gathering space for the Indigenous community 25 years ago has become an eyesore at Main and Higgins.
It deteriorated due to people stealing the copper from the roof during the pandemic. So that's the reason why the building has fallen into disrepair.
Thunderbird House was taken over by community advocates in May this year who said they wanted to restore its original purpose of cultural healing, gathering, and unity.
We've heard from members of the community that we didn't think we're aware of what was going on, and they've reached out and expressed their absolute joy that work is finally getting done.
Michael Red at Champagne campaign once said in his blog, quote, "The health of Indigenous people in Winnipeg can be seen in the upkeep and maintenance of the building." He hopes for unity going forward.
I think the next step for the Thunderbird House is for both of the groups that have been active at the Thunderbird House, both at the board and at the Occupy level, both have opportunities to have their voices heard and their concerns raised.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
It was not smooth sailing when working on this BC ferry. Les Fox first met Jordan Sankey.
And I said, "You're Jordan." She goes, "And who the HE double hockey sticks are you?"
Not one bit did I like this man. I thought he came off as arrogant.
Well, I guess I come off as a bit of a jerk sometimes, but I'm actually a nice guy.
Although Les worked in the engine room downstairs and Jordan supported the customers upstairs, they happened to meet again in the common crew room when she walked in with her dinner to find only him.
I felt like it would be way too rude to walk out.
So she stayed, before their initially awkward conversation turned unexpectedly effortless.
I found out she's intelligent in ways that I'm not intelligent in.
That he's not actually mean, and that he's actually quite a very funny man.
And for the rest of the week, they ended up spending all their dinner breaks together.
I guess we've just kind of been inseparable ever since.
They started seeing each other away from work, and along with having a lot of fun, inspired each other to be better people.
He's just taught me so much. It's too much to even say.
Over the past 2 years together, Les says he's learned to be more kind and lower that tough exterior.
I can be open and truly loving with Jordan. I've never really felt like this before with anybody.
So, during a recent road trip, Les says he made an impromptu proposal.
And then I remember just being like, "Hey, you want to get married?" And she was like, "Yeah."
That was not his idea. That was mine.
No matter who asked whom, Jordan and Les both decided to vow "I do" where they first met, on board a BC ferry, surrounded by 70 members of their ferry family.
You may kiss your bride. It was very overwhelming. Felt completely right.
She takes care of me, and I want to take care of her.
And if this fairy tale romance were to have a fairy tale moral, Jordan and Les say it's "don't judge a book by its cover." Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.